Radical.
This is the first of two Nintendo Switch 2 commentaries I got lined up today. And this one basically is going to focus on the battery life. Talking about the battery life of the Switch 2. But also, after I do a little rant on the battery life, we're going to a full breakdown and comparison of the two Switches. First off, though, like the title suggests, the battery life of the Nintendo Switch 2 is terrible. Terrible. You see right here, in the first slide I got a comparison of the battery life of all the handhelds, basically. All the handhelds, there might be more, but this is 4 of the handhelds released in the last couple years from 2021. So you see the Nintendo Switch 2 actually has a 2 to 6.5 hour battery life. I'm not making that up. 2. As in 2 hours. As in 120 minutes. Some movies are longer than that. And that's estimated. So your mileage may vary. You may actually be unlucky, and you might be playing your Switch 2 for under 2 hours. If you're playing an intensive game, let's say like, Mario Kart World, which I'll be talking about in the second commentary coming up. But 2 hours to 6.5, I bet you very rarely ever get to 6.5 hours. Maybe if you're not even playing games, it might last for 6.5 hours, but my goodness, that's terrible. Compared to the Nintendo Switch OLED. Now, keep in mind, this is an older Nintendo system. You know how things usually get better as you go on? The OLED, released 4 years ago, 4.5 to 9 hours. Doubles the minimum battery life. And that's pretty awesome. 4.5 hours? Now that is a portable device. That is truly a portable device at 4.5 hours. And compared to the last two, the Steam Deck OLED, minimum 3 to 12 hours. Sure, it's got a higher high end, but I look at more or less the lower end as to being what's actually going to be close to reality. 3 to 12 hours. And the Asus ROG Ally X, I don't know if I said that right, 2.5 to 6.5 hours. So that last one on the list, not that good at all. But they're all better than this brand new spanking product. This brand new spanking product by Nintendo. So, let me tell you. The Switch 2 is a portable device that you can dock, of course. But the Switch 2 is touted as being a portable device. That's the whole gimmick, right? That's why Nintendo doesn't need to release any more dedicated handhelds, right? No more 3DSs, no more type of deals like that. No more handhelds. They don't need any more handhelds because, well, you got the Switch. It's the best of all worlds. Not exactly. 2 hours, I don't think qualifies as a portable device. 2 hours, man, that's nothing. That's nothing. I mean, you get into a game, you start playing a game. No, that sucks. That's terrible. Nintendo, that's terrible. Terrible. You should have went back to the fucking drawing board and came up with a better solution for the battery. But I'll be nice. I'll be sweet. Let's go to the next slide here. I found this somewhere. Nintendo Switch versus the Switch 2. What's different? I love how there's a question mark there. Now, people talk about how there was confusion on the Wii and the Wii U. Now, this is the Switch and the Switch 2. They put a 2 on it, but it looks very similar. They put a 2, and they changed the color of the Joy-Cons. But honestly, it's really hilarious. They just kind of made it bigger. And of course, they made some upgrades, sure, but it's kind of strange. This is the first time in history we've ever actually had a Nintendo console come out, console/handheld, whatever you call the Switch, however you define it, This is the first time. I mean, you think Nintendo, from Nintendo to the SNES to the N64 to the GameCube to the Wii, they've always had different looking systems. But, I'm not going to knock them because the Switch was incredibly successful. It's just kind of lame that the Switch 2 looks a whole lot like the Switch. The price, though, it's different. You'll know right away the price is different. $299.99 for the original Switch, which now, looking back, that seems like a hell of a deal, doesn't it? $299.99? Looking back to 2017, now it's starting out at $449. The display, 6.2 LCD for the original Switch, 7.9 for the LCD on the new Switch, which is significantly bigger, so I would give that a little golf clap if I wasn't holding the recording device with one hand. No OLED, though. No OLED. Video output, 720p at 60 frames a second handheld, 1080p at 60 frames per second dock. The new one starts out at 1080p at 120 frames a second handheld, and 4K at 60 frames per second dock. That's actually not that bad. That's pretty impressive. So, another golf clap for Nintendo. What kind of tech is in this new Switch? I heard it's comparable to a PS4 Pro. It's got to be beefier than that, right? I haven't looked anything into the specs yet. HDR support, no for the old Switch, yes for the new Switch. Controllers, Joy-Cons Pro Controller, Joy-Cons Magnetic Pro Controller. So they added some magnets, some refrigerator magnets into the new Joy-Cons. Storage, this is a big difference. 32 gigabytes internal memory for the old, and the new one is 256 gigabyte internal memory, micro SD express card support. So that is significantly more there. Again, the battery life we talked about, 4.5 to 9 hours on the old one, and now I just can't get over that. Only 2. How much do you get? 2 hours. It's only 2 hours. Microphone and a cross-game chat. No, you shit out of luck there with the old Switch. But the new Switch 2 brings you into the glory days of 2002 for consoles and the original Xbox. Yes, you can have game chat, Nintendo fans. You do get a microphone. Fucking finally, right? And lastly, the USB ports. You get a USB-C charging dock, 3.5 millimeter audio, micro SD, HDMI, AC adapter, secondary USB. On the new one, 2 USB-C ports, top and bottom, 3.55 millimeter audio, micro SD express, HDMI, AC adapter, and a LAN port. All right, so it's not bad. The Switch 2 is definitely an upgrade over the old Switch. And a lot of people might say, well, listen, Rick, the battery time is because there's a whole lot more tech in the new Switch. I would counter with that. The original Switch was released in 2017. We're now in 2025. Are you telling me in 8 fucking years, Nintendo can't figure out how to beef up the power in a system and improve the battery life for a portable device? For me, that is the first thing you have to get right. But as you can hear in my commentary coming up, the poor battery life, the piss-poor terrible battery life, is not the only problem with the Nintendo Switch 2.